What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. We are here today with a disc review of the Discmania, the Discmania Paradigm. The flight numbers for this are supposed to be, I think, 12.5, -1.5, 2.5. So, similar to like Wraithish, maybe a little bit more pull in either direction. So I'm gonna test this one out here. We're at the top of the hill at Jackson Park, right next to the parking lot. We're gonna test this one out as long as throw it with a couple of the other kind of neutral to flippier discs that I have, just to kind of see how true those flight numbers pair up. Gonna warm up with a couple of throws from what I think might be slightly flippier, and then we'll rip this one. We do have some headwind today, so we'll see what happens. First, to warm up, just my stock stamp beat up Wraith. Yep, good for the first throw. It's not super warmed up yet. Next, we're gonna go my Fission Photon. This one's kind of beat up, so we'll see what the wind does. Oh, it's way too low. Oh, it's way too low, but I like how it turns and then comes back. Now we are gonna go straight to the Paradigm. At this point, I think I'm warmed up enough to be able to at least get a somewhat consistent read. And I think, based off the flight numbers, I think this one's gonna fly closest to that Photon. So let's start and see. Okay, that one I threw on hyzer. Now I know what it does on hyzer. I'm gonna throw these flat so that we have a gauge, and then when we get back up here, we'll throw the Paradigm flat and see what that did. This one I think might be somewhat consistent to those flight numbers, that it's a beast, so it's only a 10 speed, but it is -2.2. But it's in Champ plastic, and Champ beasts are somewhat stable for those flight numbers. Yeah, that beast flies very similar to my Wraith, or the way my Wraith flew like a year ago. Stock stamp ESP Zeus, but this one has seen some years. It is kind of a flip up, and so gonna throw it flat, hope it flips over. Okay, I threw that one on Anheuser. And of course, last but not least, time lapses are so much fun to throw. This is the flippier of the 4 time lapses I have. It's not flippy, but I'm gonna throw it flat and see what happens. So far, it looks like Beast, Photon, and Wraith are gonna be the closest in flight, considering. Let's go pick them up, and then we'll try out some different angles. All right, finally back up here. Got them all picked up. Gonna throw this one flat. I want to see it turn and ride, and how fast does it come back. And then these other ones, probably gonna hit them on some hyzer, because this one hit on hyzer on that first throw. So try to put it flat. That was a little bit nose up, but that flies very similar to the way the Zeus flew. Let's see this one. Try to throw the same line. Okay, I got that one much flatter, more nose down, not as nose up. There are some hyzer flips, Wraith, and then Photon. I love that Wraith so much. This one I think this one is probably the closest, like a beat-in fission photon is probably the closest that I've tried so far. This one and maybe that Zeus. Now for the beast. Did I just ace the yellow basket? No, I didn't ace it, but I did park it. This one's not as stable as the rest of my time lapses, but I don't think it'll hyzer flip. I do want to get a full S flight though. So I'm gonna pop it and see how much I can get this to turn, just because sometimes you just want to have fun, you know? Okay, so what it looks like to me is the discs I have that kind of fits very evenly into the stability of them. The Wraith is the flippiest, the Photon's next flippiest, and then that Paradigm is like right there at the same stableness as the Beast, but the Beast is a 10 speed, and then the Zeus is a tiny bit more stable, and then when I throw those discs flat, they do the same flight as the time lapse when I throw it on Anheuser, if that makes sense. So it's like I can get the same exact flight out of them, I just have to vary the degrees of angle that I'm putting onto them. That's really good to know. Now I'm gonna go down there and I'm just gonna try to see if I can get a big sky S flight. Actually throw some of these on Annie and see what happens. It's a long walk down the hill though. All right, back for round 3. Headwind's picking up a little bit. This one flies. This disc flies really amazing. It kind of fits some of the slots that I'm looking for in my bag, but discs that I currently know a little bit better. So this disc specifically is not going into my bag. If y'all want to pick out this disc, this one will be in the used section at Another Round Asheville. And if I remember correctly, there's still like 3 or 4 more of these in the stack. So if you want to pick up any of these, they fly amazing. Let's see what they look like on some Anheuser into a headwind. Oh, that's such a fun shot to throw. Next up, Photon. Which this Photon at this point is fission and it beats in so fast. At this point it's almost as flippy as my Wraith, which means I may have to find a replacement for that slight flip up that this one was flying like. I mean, it turned into a roller and made it to the back wall, but I think that's similar to the way this one's gonna fly. Okay, that was interesting. The Wraith had more fight out at the very end. Let's go Max Beast Bomber. Oh, that's too much angle. No. Yeah, that was too much angle. This is the one that I think might replace that Photon, just because it is an ESP, so it's not gonna be just immediately flipping over as soon as I start throwing it again. So it's flying really nice right now. And I love that it's pink and blue. Yeah, this one doesn't have a sign on it.
Do you know where one is that?
One's over there. See the light post?
Okay.
It's like left into the woods.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, that time lapse I mean, it's a negative 1.3, so negative 1.5, 2.5. You can see why it's a little bit more beefy. Great disc. Flies very similar to an Innova Beast. So if you're looking for a beast, but that is a 12 speed, it gets you a little bit further. Maybe go try out a Paradigm. Food for thought. Until next time, guys. See you out on the course.